What's up, dudes? Today we're cut testing with the Ohio Riverjack from Traditional Pocket Knives. I love this knife. It's a premium slip joint. It's actually on sale right now for $110. But if you use my code Duty10, you can get it for $99. Full titanium, or you can get the micarta one. 3 blade shapes: Wharncliffe, Spear Point, or Sheep's Foot. This one's the Sheep's Foot. So I wanted to cut with it. It's M390 blade steel. I was a little hesitant to do my regular test on this since it's a slip joint, but I figured I can't change up the test. If I do that, then it's kind of messing with the whole baseline of the testing of the knives. So I have to treat it like I would any other knife. So we're going through the regular thickness cardboard here. It's absolutely just blasting through it, no problem at all. It's a pretty thin blade stock. It's just going through it with ease, with absolute ease. It's a pretty neutral handle shape, just pretty much a rectangle. But we do have a little bit of contouring. All the edges are nicely knocked down. So, especially as I'm pushing through this double thickness cardboard right here, there wasn't any hot spots. There's no clip. Which actually really helps, or the ergonomics as you're putting a lot of pressure into the cut. There's no clip, nothing to hurt your hand. It was going through this pretty well, actually. As with all knives, this thick stuff is hard to get through. You got to push pretty hard, but some knives are easier to get through this than others, and this one was pretty easy. Now you'll see I struggle with the paper throughout this whole video. This is kind of like soggy paper from my clipboard. You'll see at the end of the video I actually finally go and get some crisp stuff, but if you see the knife not really cutting through the paper well, it's because of the paper, guys. I should have gotten good crisp paper. So here's the bungee cord cut test. Easily going through that. And then we'll do some tabletop cutting of that same bungee cord here. I don't think this is a fantastic food prep knife, but it'll absolutely work for sure. I've noticed that for food prep, I think knives with a little bit of belly work a little better, but still a low tip, a little like low tip, but just a little bit of belly. This sheep's foot wasn't great. And then here's the rubber tubing, blasting through it, no problem. Kind of another food prep type test, which again, it'll be fine, but there are other knives that are even more well suited for food prep. You'll see it wasn't quite getting through the rubber. It wasn't because of the sharpness, just because when the amount of edge that's in contact with the tabletop surface is pretty small since it's a straight edge. So you'll see, dealing with the soggy paper once again. Trust me, it's the paper. You'll see at the end of the video, I get some crisp paper, and it goes through it no problem. After all this testing, I didn't strap it or anything. You'll see once in a while I'll get a good angle, and it goes right through it. And then the glove test. Got a nice fresh, well, it's been used, but we cut up the old glove that I had been using. So we got a new glove here, and it went through this so easily. Possibly one of the easiest in all the knives that I've tested. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. It was like way easy. If you've been watching these cut test videos, you'll notice that most of the time, by the time I get to the third cut on the glove, I'm kind of having to do a sawing motion to get through it. This one, not at all, dude. Not at all. I was impressed, man. Back to the paper, having some more difficulties. I don't know why I just dealt with this bad paper for so long, but I just did. And then I think we're going to go to the polypropylene rope test. Here I'm just checking the walk and talk, centering, everything, make sure it's, nothing's changed. So I almost didn't do the polypropylene rope cut test because this is the gnarliest test that I do. It's really hard for knives to get through, and you need a lot of pressure to get through it. But I decided to go for it anyways. Didn't get it on the first one. Didn't get it on the second one. Third time it went through. And I decided to end it there since it didn't go through within the first try. But it did go through. Didn't mess with the action, the feel of it, anything. And then I decided to do a couple cuts just flat on the surface. It went through. Just took a little bit of a sawing motion. This rope is extremely tough, man. The only knife that has gone through first try 3 times in a row was the Vosti Nightshade. And I think that had a lot to do with the blade shape and the thinness behind the edge, obviously. But that blade shape really it pulled the rope into the edge. That was cool. So overall, pretty impressed. You'll see in a second when I get the good paper that this M390 held an edge really well after all this testing. Here I'm just doing some utility cuts on the cardboard. This thing, it's a sheep's foot. Its specialty is this type of cutting. Just did really good. Yeah, pretty impressed, man. I wasn't, this is kind of what I expected. It's pretty thin blade stock. It's pretty thin behind the edge. It's going to be slicey. I didn't expect it to go through the leather glove so easily, though. That was impressive. I'm not sure what exactly about the geometry of the blade made it pass that easily through the glove. I'm really not too sure. It might have to do a lot with the edge retention. Once I get to the good, like I keep saying it, once I get to the good paper, you'll see the edge held up very well. This is OEM'd by QSP, so I haven't heard anything negative about their heat treatment of their M390.
Actually, no. No? Okay. Well, it was really wet.
And then here you'll see I finally went and got a nice crisp piece of paper, and you'll see no problem slicing the paper. Obviously not as good as it was at the beginning, but really impressed with the edge retention here. Really, really good. So pretty overall impressed with this little slip joint. This is a very capable knife. Yes, it is a slip joint. You need to take that into consideration. It has the potential of closing on you, but as you'll see with the testing I just did, as long as you're careful, it's not going to happen. So thanks for watching. Adios.